is a story all about a guy named Bob who bought a car. He went to the bank and got a loan. Now he pays it back monthly with interest. Come on.
Hey guys, today I'm going to tell you a story about a guy named Bob who wanted to buy a car, okay? And this is going to help us understand credit, all right? Credit means borrowing money with interest, okay? Now, don't stress out if you don't know what interest means, okay? Because we're going to talk about it. But you know that your parents might have a credit card, or grown-ups can have credit cards where they can buy things with a little piece of plastic. And you might be wondering, what does that really mean, that little piece of plastic we buy things with? So we're going to learn a story about a guy named Bob today, and he's going to help us understand what that means, okay? So this is Bob. Bob wants a new car. But y'all, the problem is his new car that he wants, it costs $10,000, all right? But he doesn't have that kind of money just in cash laying around. So, he doesn't have enough money. So, we're going to see what he does. Bob decides to go to the bank and get a loan. I'm sure you've heard that word before. Loan just means, in this case, money that the bank lets you borrow, especially for big things, or whenever you make small purchases with a credit card. What the bank is really doing is loaning the money to you or letting you borrow it for a little bit so that you can purchase something. So Bob goes to the bank and gets a loan. Now, he doesn't just get to keep that money just for free, right? He still has to pay the money back eventually. So each month, Bob pays back a little bit of the money he borrowed, so the money part of his loan, and he pays it back with interest. So each month, he pays back a little piece of that $10,000 that he borrowed, and he pays it back with interest. Now, hold tight. We're going to talk about interest here in just a second. Now, after years of paying each month, he finally pays off a total of $11,500. So here he is. He's excited. He's saying, yay, it was paid in full. Now, I know what you're thinking. You guys might be thinking, but the car only cost $10,000. Why does he have to pay a total of $11,500? Now, that's because of interest. Interest is the extra amount of money that is paid for borrowing money. So interest is an extra amount that you have to pay the bank when you decide to use credit or get a loan, okay? So in this example, the cost of the car for Bob was $10,000. But then he had to pay this extra amount of $1,500 because he didn't pay in cash. He had to borrow the money from the bank. So because he borrowed money from the bank, he has to end up paying what the car cost and a little bit extra because he borrowed money. So that puts his total at $11,500. Now, if he just would have bought that with cash, it would have only been $10,000. But since he borrowed some money from the bank, he has to pay some extra, which is called interest. Another example might be, if let's say you want to buy a skateboard that costs $12. If you have $12 cash in your bank account, then it's only going to cost you $12. But let's say you want to buy the same skateboard, but this time you don't have that money, so you decide that you want to use credit. You decide you want to borrow some money from the bank. It's actually going to end up costing you more money than it would have if you paid cash, okay? Because the additional $1.50 is interest that you pay because you had to borrow money from the bank, okay? So we're going to get some practice, but remember that interest is the money that you have to pay the bank if you borrow money from them. You guys are awesome. Miss you.